Boom! What's going on, Faithfuls? It's your boy Nick with Nothing But Niners. We are back to bring you this special debate this week, and we got Mike against Croc. But let's let everybody introduce themselves real quick. We'll go with Croc first. Croc, tell everybody who you are, where you're from, what they can find you at. You know, tell the Faithfuls what's going on.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Eric Crocker, out of Stockton, California. Proud to be, part of Nothing But Niners and be able to debate about some good 49er talk on this Thursday night.
Mike, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, man? All right, everybody. My name is Mike. Again, with Nothing But Niners. You guys can find me on Twitter at 49ersMike_NF. I'm here to put my foot down, lay the law down. You know what I mean? Because if I'm going to debate something, I'm going to be right about it. So I'm ready to do this. It's a Thursday night. It's a long way away from football. We're getting ready because there's going to be a lot of debates happening on this channel right here. Y'all not going to want to miss them. So make sure y'all subscribe, okay? So it's about to go down.
It's about to go down like that Billy Bob suspender Rathman shirt you got on going on over there. So, guys, listen up, man. If you guys don't know where to find us, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button down there in the right-hand corner. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure your bell's set so you can get those notifications when we go live, as well as Nothing But Niners on Instagram, on Facebook, Nothing But Niners all the way spelled out. You can find us on Nothing But 9ERS on Twitter, Snapchat, and all our podcasts, which Mike just dropped a hell of a pod last night. Go check that out on SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Play, wherever you want to listen to your podcast at, and it's there. But guys, I want to get into this. So this is a great question, and I'm definitely interested in hearing both of your guys' opinions on this. So the question at top today, and we'll go with Eric first. But the question that I got for you guys, for both of you, is if we won at least 3 of those 5 games that we lost by 3 points or less, will we still have traded a second-round pick with New England for Jimmy Garoppolo? So, Eric, what are your thoughts on that?
So I think 100% we would have definitely still traded for Garoppolo. And my reasons for it is, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows the answer to this question, was Brian Hoyer ever going to be the future of the 49ers? And the answer to that is no. Somehow, some way, come the next offseason, the 49ers are going to have to try to find a way to get a quarterback. So before the season, everybody has come out. Everybody knows about it. Who did the 49ers try to trade for before the season? Jimmy Garoppolo, right? So that trade didn't happen. They weren't willing to let him go at that specific time. But I think in the minds of our front office and Kyle Shanahan and those guys, there was no doubt that long term he was a better quarterback than Brian Hoyer and CJ Beathard, for that matter. So I think no matter what, regardless of whatever, they knew that Jimmy Garoppolo could be the long-term answer. And if he was to become available, even if we were undefeated, I still think they know Brian Hoyer was never going to be the long-term answer. And even if we were undefeated, it probably wasn't going to be because of him. It wasn't going to be because of him. So, as we've seen in this short stint, these 3 games that he has played, we haven't seen this type of quarterbacking play since Jeff Garcia. And maybe even before him, since Steve Young, when he's getting knocked out by Aeneas Williams. All right? We haven't seen this type of quarterbacking play. They knew that what they were going to get in this guy. They knew what type of guy they were getting, the type of character they were getting, where he was coming from, what he's learned. He has two Super Bowl rings, even though he didn't win them. He has 2 Super Bowl rings. So he's bringing all that over. And I believe strongly that no matter what happened, they would have wanted that guy in his handsome face to be the face of this to be the face of this 49ers. No matter what, I don't think it mattered how many games we would have won. The quarterback position was going to have to be addressed. At some point, the quarterback position was going to have to be addressed. And if that same trade fell in their lap for a second-round pick, they would have done it.
Okay. So Mike Croc is saying that even he's throwing out Brian Hoyer's name. He's throwing out Jeff Garcia's name. He's throwing out Steve Young's name. He's saying that this organization needed to address that quarterback situation, whether it was CJ Beathard or whoever it was, and they approached New England in the offseason for this trade, and it wasn't the right time, right? So he believes that, yes, they're going to do this. One way or another, they were going to do this. So what are your thoughts on this, Mike?
All right, here we go. First, before I give my answer, I want to say shout outs to Zach at 49ers Hive for coming up with this question. This was something that he posted on his Twitter handle, 49ers Hive. So you guys make sure you follow him over there, okay? Now, I want to say that the question is, if we had have won 3 or more of those 5 games that we lost by just 3 points or less, will we have still acquired Jimmy Garoppolo for just a second-round pick? My answer is no, and I'm not hesitating. No. And here's my logic behind it. Would the 49ers still want Jimmy Garoppolo? Yes, they wanted him before the season started. They wanted him during the draft. They tried to trade for him, and they were willing to give up more than just a second-round pick at that point, right? Belichick didn't want to pull the trigger on that. He wasn't sure if he wanted to keep Brady, if he wanted to move on, whatever the case was. So he wanted to ride these guys out into the season. And this is what I think happened. I think Bill Belichick was like, you know what? Let me see how Brady performs early on. And if he looks like age is catching up with him, I'll let Brady go and try to trade him and maybe move forward with Garoppolo. Bill Belichick was well aware of how good Jimmy Garoppolo could play. All right, I think we all agree with that. Okay. Now, the reason I say no is because I think that if we won any of those games, we wouldn't have been projected to pick number 1 or number 2 overall. Bill Belichick, in his mind, for sure was getting a top 5 pick still for Jimmy Garoppolo. And if we had won all of those games, or 3 of those games, or 4 of those games, and we were only at week 6, all of a sudden the Niners were on pace to have a pick somewhere around 11, 12, or 13. I don't think Bill Belichick would have been interested in that. I think he would have been like, if you want Jimmy, we're going to need your first-round pick, or we're going to need your second-round pick, plus your third-round pick, and maybe your 7th round. He was going to try to take the Niners to town on that. I don't think that there's any way in hell that if we won those 5 games, or if we won 3 of those games, that we were just going to get Jimmy Garoppolo for a second-round pick. This is what you got to remember. When this all happened, okay, this through weeks 2 through 6, we played the Rams. We put up 39 points. All of a sudden, we like, damn, Hoyer actually looked like he could do something, right? Then we played the Cardinals. We lose that game 15-18. All right, all field goals, a field goal fest. Hoyer showed up big, then he just vanished. Okay, then we go and we played Colts 23-26. All right, we up and down in that game, a lot of inconsistencies and things like that. Then we go to the last game in that streak where we just benched Brian Hoyer at halftime. It wasn't even quite halftime yet. All right, and I was at this game. This was the Washington Redskins game. Okay, and at this point, this is what Bill Belichick is thinking. The Niners tried it with Hoyer. It didn't work. They know he's not the answer. They're trying it with C.J. Beathard. Now, before I keep going forward, we bench Brian Hoyer. We put in C.J. Beathard. We still lose by 2, but C.J. Beathard gives a spark. Maybe the Niners don't need a quarterback, right? So now Bill Belichick is thinking, I can't be as greedy. I can't take them to town as much as I want to because they might think, they being the 49ers, might think that they have something in C.J. Beathard, right? What happens the next 2 weeks leading up to that trade? The weeks after we were within 3 points or less. We get blown out by the Cowboys, and then we get blown out by the Eagles. In those 2 weeks, we got destroyed, okay? It was 73-20. That's what the point differential was. That was a point difference. Now, all of a sudden, Bill Belichick says, well, they've been through their first quarterback. They've been through their second quarterback. They don't think that they have a good quarterback on that roster. Now I know that they know they need one. And if I give them this pick for a second pick, it's going to be in the top 5. Hell yeah. He pushed them off. He was like, here you go. We're going to – now think about this. Patriots are thinking one way. Like Eric said, he already got 2 Super Bowl rings, right? They're thinking Super Bowl this year also. Okay? Now imagine this. You picking 32nd, and then the Niners got the first overall pick. You picking 32nd and 33rd. Imagine the haul Bill Belichick could have bought in with those 2 picks back to back. You know he's going to be maneuvering around and all that stuff. That's why he wanted our second-round pick. At worst case scenario in his brain, he's picking 31st, between 31st in the first round and between 3rd in the second round. Those 2 picks within 5 picks of each other, that meant something to Bill Belichick, and that's what he wanted. If we had won those games, it wouldn't go down the same way. I rest my case, Your Honor.
All right, Mike, you make some good points there too. But in all naturality, Bill Belichick was contacted by John Lynch. So it wasn't like Belichick was out reaching out to the Niners saying, hey, do you guys want to do this? You know what I mean? Okay. So you're saying yes, he did. Okay. So we'll get to that. But, Croc, do you have anything to say to what Mike was saying about he disagrees with you, as you say we would have done it either way. He disagrees if we would have won games and the pick would have been lower in the first round or lower in the second round, both or that we wouldn't have done that. Do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think everybody knows Bill Belichick and kind of how he gets down. He doesn't even value draft picks. Bill Belichick doesn't value draft picks. He doesn't care about a draft pick. You know, he'll get rid of a draft pick for a Cody Ealy or something, or he's more into getting a veteran. So in that aspect, yeah, I need this draft pick just so I can trade it away possibly. But anybody else, it doesn't matter if it's a high second or a middle of the round second round pick. People are going to want that anyway. So, if you were to tell Belichick, hey, we'll give you, I don't know, Tajon Gibson or something for a second round pick, for your second that you got from the Niners, he'd be like, all right, you can have it. Doesn't matter where that pick was going to be at. You know what I'm saying? So the draft pick, that didn't matter. The only thing really that I think mattered in this entire situation is that they had to get rid of Garoppolo. They had to get rid of him. I was thinking about it even before the trade happened. I'm like, man, that's going to be kind of interesting this offseason. They're going to let this quarterback just walk, or they're going to get rid of Tom Brady. I was trying to see how it was going to play out. And they traded us, and it's like, okay, I'm not surprised because they had to do it, or they just weren't going to get anything for it. And I think at this point, a second-round pick, I saw maybe, McCarron's going to the Bengals for a second and 2 seconds or something like that, or 2 seconds and a third. That's the Browns. The Browns, they're terrible front office. So they're probably willing to do anything. But I think, Belichick looked at the 49ers. He saw John Lynch. He said, you know what? I don't care what pick they have in the second round. I think that's a good landing spot for him. We'll get him out the AFC. He's going to be in good hands. I really don't care about draft picks because I'm going to trade this thing away anyways. Here you go, 49ers. Deliver them on a silver platter.
Okay. And it was a good birthday dish. But, Mike, what do you got to say to that?
All right. So Eric made some really, really solid points, okay? And I do know that Belichick treats draft picks like cotton candy. Like, he just distributes it however. But he said something else that really, got me, right? A.J. McCarron was supposed to be going to the Browns for multiple picks, right? And they high-fived and they celebrated that. That was a reactionary move to what we did when we acquired Jimmy Garoppolo, okay? Now, think about this for a second, right? You have to really think about where these teams were at that point in time, all right? Both of us were winless, okay? And if you looked at the Browns versus the Niners, we had just got blown out. Our 2 worst losses back-to-back in franchise history, okay? Like, we really, really look like we were the worst team in the entire NFL. You can't tell me that Belichick didn't think to himself, you know what? The Browns are winless, but the Browns were competitive. That's the difference. The Browns were at least competitive at that time. We weren't. We were getting blown out. He knew it was a safe thing. Listen, if the Browns are willing to give up multiple picks, the Niners are willing to give up maybe multiple picks, but we know they're going to give up one, that second-round pick. You don't think Bill Belichick would have said, hey, let me see what the Browns are willing to give up? The reason he didn't do that is because he saw that the Browns looked like a better team. He wanted 2 picks close together. All right, that's ammo. That's ammo. Belichick don't care about those picks. Let's say that Belichick said, you know what, the best quarterback in this draft is whoever, and I need to get that guy to replace Tom Brady when he's out of here. He would have traded his first and second from us or from them to move up to that first-round pick, and then that would have been it. Who's not going to take that trade? We're willing to give multiple picks for A.J. freaking McCarron. Nobody even thought about him. Nobody's mentioned his name anymore. He's an afterthought. That was a reactionary move to what we did. You know what I mean? So when you step back and you look at how things actually played out, he had to evaluate which team was worse. We were the worst team, and that's why he valued our pick more than theirs. And one more thing, Eric was saying when he was talking. You were talking about how he'll take veterans over other people, and then how I'm losing it. How he'll take veterans over other people. And no, that's not the point I was gonna get on. It was back to the Browns and AJ McCarron. That's what it was. Remember, the Browns came out and admitted, you know what? We would have been interested in Jimmy Garoppolo too, but we didn't get the call. That's what it was. I wanted to talk about that real quick. They didn't get the call. Bill Belichick reached out to the Niners. Hey, you guys still interested in him? So Eric was right. They absolutely wanted to move on from him. They wanted to move on from him because they knew at the end of the season, we're not going to get anything from him. Let's just see what we can get. But he wanted to see how big of a haul he could pull in, and he knew the Niners were willing to offer the most during draft season. What Bill Belichick didn't want to do, and the way he operates is the least distractions, the better, right? I think we all can agree with that. Bill Belichick don't like distractions. He don't like outside noise and all that. If he start calling all around the NFL, and you know Mike Silver is right there in the ear of Hugh Jackson, if he had to call the Browns, oh, man, Mike Silver would have been tweeting like crazy. Jimmy Garoppolo on the trading block, da-da-da-da-da. Belichick didn't want none of that. He called who he thought was going to be the highest draft pick and some people that he knew were interested in the 49ers. And we were like, hey, at this point, we're willing to give you a second. That's it. And that's how things went down. I'm telling you that if the record was better, Belichick wouldn't have just called us. He would have called other teams to see how much he could have got as a total accumulation. I'm done.
Okay. So you got some good points there too. Croc's got some good points as well. I see Croc holding his hand up. So go ahead, Croc. Go ahead and
one thing to say about the what the Bengals were going to get from the Browns. Got to remember one thing. They're in the same, not only the same conference, they're in the same division. They're in the same division. We're both in the AFC North. So I'm not just going to give you somebody who I think is, pretty decent. Got Andy Dalton. Got to keep him. I think McCarron is pretty decent. But I'm not just going to hand them over to a division rival. You're going to have to overpay. And we see 49ers already, got Garoppolo for a second. You know what? We believe a lot in McCarron's. You're going to have to give up more than just a second. We're going to need a second and a third.
Just a quick yes or no rebuttal to that. If they were willing to give up a second and a third from McCarron, from a division opponent, do you honestly think they wouldn't have given up that plus some for Garoppolo? We've seen Garoppolo play in games. Garoppolo play in games. We knew how good he was.
I believe so, but I don't think that Belichick would have traded him there regardless of the compensation they would have gotten. I don't think he would have traded him there at all. I'm not sending you – first of all, I'm not sending you to the Browns. I'm not sending you to an AFC opponent. You can go over there to the NFC where I only have to see you once every 4 years. Go to a 49ers where I think, you guys might be good. By that time, we'll probably be, I'll be retired by the time the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady's on his way out. I'll be out soon. By the next time if they play 49ers in, 3 more years? Yeah, he won't be, So, yeah, that's why he sent him over here.
All right. So you both got some good points. There's some parts that I agree with Croc. There's some parts I agree with Mike. Guys, I don't know who won this debate. So that's for you to tell us. That's for you to tweet at us at nothing-but-9ERS on Twitter or hit us up on Snapchat or Instagram, Facebook, wherever. And you let us know who you think won this debate, right? So I'm not going to give my opinion on this, but we will leave it up to the fans. We'll put it up. We'll put up Mike's name. We'll put up Croc's name along with the video when we share it. And I want you guys to vote. We'll leave it up for 5 days. See who votes for it. See who wins this debate. Guys, the faithful are going to answer this question, not myself or anybody else in this room. None of us Nothing But Niners crew members. It is going to be up to the faithful. The faithful is going to tell us who won this, who downright deserves it. And I don't know. Maybe we can get Croc one of those Billy Bob suspenders over there to wear.
My son has one. I'll borrow his.
Guys, we need to figure out something about what the winner gets and the loser gets. What are we doing here? We gotta have a little friendly bet here.
I know. I got one.
All right, what do you got?
Push-ups. I love push-ups. On video, I need to see the push-ups. I need 25. We could bet a little nice 25. I need full extension of the arms. You lose, I need those push-ups.
Bet. I'm with it. I say we up at 30. What's up?
30. Let's go. Let's go.
30. Let's do this. Let's do this.
My fat ass ain't doing no push-ups with these wimpy ass arms, so I'm glad I'm not in this debate. All right, so I will just grab a pack of Chips Ahoy or something like that, and I'll go to work. But guys, it's been fun as always, man. Croc, you've made some really good points. Mike, you made some really good points. I'm interested and intrigued to see what these fans and these faithfuls have to say for the next 5 days. Who's going to win this? Who's going to have to do 30 full extension arm push-ups? And you better put something down there and your chest is touching it. It's got to be a true push-up, all right? So I will hold you both to it. I will let you both know who won. Obviously, you guys follow the Twitter account as well. You will see when the vote is ending. Faithfuls, this is in your hand. Guys, also make sure to check out us everywhere. Make sure you check out the latest podcast as well as all the YouTubes. Hit that subscribe button. And above all else, stay faithful. We out.